Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sky Fox. Thank you so much for being here today. Today I have a deck haul video. I'm going to be sharing some new decks with you that just came into my collection and I'm very excited for that. I have some decks that came in from MakePlayingCards, which is a print-on-demand company. I've had some mass market decks come through. And yeah, I've been saving them for this video. So I've been trying to be really good about waiting to be able to kind of go through them, maybe do a little bit of a first impressions. Some of them I've not been very good at. I've at least like flipped through them because I have no self-control. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, God, what do I want to do first? I'm gonna go over the make playing cards decks that came in first. So on make playing cards, the shipping can be kind of crazy. So I wanted to make it worth my while. So I had several of them come through from make playing cards. The first one that I got is Nova Mundi Tarot. Nova Mundi Tarot is her name here on YouTube. She is a content creator. She's a deck creator, and she has a make playing card shop. And I have been on the hunt for, or I have been wanting like a Thoth Greeny tarot that has like different colored borders, because the like US game system ones with the gray borders, just I really don't get on with it. So this was like, yes, absolutely yes. I love there was a couple of different greeny type options. I mean, it's not like a actual greeny, right? It's Nova Mundi Tarot's creation. There was another creator on Make Playing Cards that had a greeny tarot that was a bit brighter. This one, I believe Nova Mundi Tarot calls a bit more grungy, but like, oh my god. I love the way that the green borders frame the artwork. I've been really loving the Thoth Tarot. I keep oscillating back and forth between Rider-Waite-Smith and Thoth, and Rider-Waite-Smith and Thoth. And I know that they both come out of the Golden Dawn tradition. It's my birth card. God, it's so beautiful. So yeah, I've really been loving the Thoth Tarot for the depth and the richness of the symbolism and the colors, and also when you get into the pip cards or the minor suit, I really have been enjoying more of the pip style arrangements instead of having like situational scenes in the minors. I feel like that has been really good for my intuition. There's the universe card. It's been really good for my intuition and my readings to kind of break out of the mold of kind of the situations that are depicted. You know, like every tarot card has 100 meanings, right? But I feel like sometimes for me in the minor suits, I can get kind of like stuck in into what's happening in the scene. So I've really been enjoying just like the arrangement of the pips on the cards to be able to open my mind and expand in more of like a and lean into more of what the interpretation could be aside from just the situation that's being depicted. um I really love, I'm not sure what language this is. Oh, that's interesting. On the so on the Thoth cards, they have like the keywords, not keywords, but like the titles on the bottom of the card. Oh, okay. No, what? I got another Thoth deck from Nova Mundi Tarot, and the titles are in a different language. These ones here on the green card are or in English. But I like it because I feel like it's they're not as intrusive, like they're not as clear, like my eyes don't go directly to the titles of the card, which I feel like again sometimes the titles it can like box me in of what I'm reading. Like the 8 of Cups here, indolence being the keyword. Um like yeah, I feel like when you're new reading with cards or reading a new system, like it can like you can hyper fixate on the words, you know what I mean? And so like 9 of Cups, happiness. 10 of Cups, satiety. Is that how you say that? Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then the Court. There's the Knight of Cups. This is the Princess. The Princess of Cups. The Prince of Cups. And the Queen of Cups. Yeah, so super beautiful creation. I'm so grateful that Nova Mundi Tarot had this available on her Make Playing Card shop, and I'm excited to get into it, to work with it. I feel like the Thoth system is I have done readings for other people with the Thoth, mostly readings for myself. I feel like I don't know. I don't know exactly how I want these cards to fit into my practice. Um but I'm very grateful to have these um, decks to be able to explore with, to experiment with, and I really appreciate the colorway in the decks, um, and how it evokes like an emotional response from me, for sure. So the next deck that I'm going to show you is also a Thoth rendition by Nova Mundi Tarot. This is the Aeon of the Dark Mother. She created this deck specifically for working with aspects of the dark feminine, the divine dark feminine. So these are the backs. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. Oh my god, I love that. I love that so much. So she created this deck for working with the Dark Mother specifically. And I do a lot of work with Hecate. And so I got this deck specifically to work with her. So this deck will not be used in readings for other people by me. This is going to just be for me, myself, and I, and my work with divine energy, divine feminine energy. And oh my gosh, I don't know exactly what she did to get the inversion of the colors in this way, but it is so unbelievably beautiful. Like, look, there's the art card. So see, this is the deck that has a different language for the titles. It looks, I mean, I don't know. This is literally just a shot in the dark. It looks Greek or something. So I really, really am excited about that. Again, the titles are not necessarily like the first thing that my eyes go to when I'm looking at this, and they're in a different language anyway. So I'm really excited to be able to sit with this artwork and have this visual language just speak to my subconscious. Gorgeous. I want to show some of the other suits here. And then the cool thing about this deck, she created additional spread cards to work with different aspects of different dark goddesses. So she has Hecate in there. I think I saw one for Kali. and several others. I think there were 6 different ones. So I'm excited to work with her spreads that she's created. She has one for, I think I just said she has one for Hecate. So yeah, I am so excited to be able to utilize this as like a sacred tool in my process, a sacred tool in my collection, um, and just deepen my journey with tarot. This journey with tarot has been so um, profound for me and has definitely brought a lot of things up to the surface. And I'm grateful for tarot as a tool to be able to just navigate through those patterns that come up in life. Okay, so the next deck, I'm going to keep with the Make Playing cards. I have 2 more. This one, I'm not sure who the creator is. Yeah, no, there's no way I'm going to be able to think of it. But it is a fandom deck. This is the Harry Potter tarot. Oh, it says it right there on the title card. The artist is Eleanor Piper. This is another deck that I got off Make Playing Cards, and I got this purely for the nostalgia. Harry Potter has always been one of my favorite series, one of my favorite stories. I know that the author is problematic, and that's a tough situation that I don't know. I'm aware of it, and it's sad. It's really sad because the story, the art that she produced is just so good. This deck also is Thoth based, which I think is cool. So like Harry Potter was the Magus, and then we have uh, number 8 as the Justice card, and number 11th is the Lust card. And so I got this deck, like I was saying, just for the nostalgia of it. I don't know if I got this deck just to be able to like have in my collection, because I'm a little bit of a deck goblin, as Marine from the Waves of Your Soul, another tarot tube channel here on YouTube, self-identifies as a deck goblin, and I've definitely have come to terms with like an inner deck goblin of myself. So I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's a really good reader. Like the star card. Oh, that's cool. It also has the astrological glyph for Aquarius here on the star card. The moon. The sun. Who's the sun? Oh, yeah. See, the sun is Fox, the phoenix. So, from what I've seen in the cards, it looks like it's a really good reader. Judgment, we have, I believe that's Lucius Malfoy in the Judgment card. And Harry Potter in the Deathly Hollow symbol for the world. Ooh. Yeah, so this was definitely just more of like a nostalgia, like I have to have this just because it's been such a story that's been so impactful for me in my life and my journey. So yeah, the Harry Potter Tarot by Eleanor Piper. Okay. Okay. So since we're in the realm of Thoth, I am gonna switch over to a mass market deck. I have one more deck from Make Playing Cards, but just to round off the Thoth energy, I want to show my large Thoth that I got, and I have already been working with this deck, so it is cheating a little bit. Like I've trimmed off the borders So this was the large Thoth deck that came with the big white borders around it. The cards were huge, and this was actually the second time that I purchased this deck because the first copy that I had I also trimmed, and I did not do a good trim job. I did not. I didn't have the right tools, and it was rough. So I bit the bullet and I bought the deck a second time and was very, very careful. And I love the way that this deck looks trimmed and the way it feels in the hands. It feels so much more smooth. And the first deck that I had gotten, the first Thoth deck that oh God, throwing cards. The first deck that I got, um, and trimmed, I had like messed up on one of the cards, and so I had to cut off a little bit more into the artwork that I would have liked, and that drove me nuts. I was like, no. It's like now I'm missing details, and there's just so much detail in these cards that like I was like no. So I got to figure out what I want to do with that deck. Um I don't know if like making a journal with it or like putting it into like a collage situation. But this one I have been working with. I have been using. I love the way that with the borders off of it, it just opens up like the richness of the colors. It's so good. It's so, oh my gosh, like look at that Queen of Wands. Yes. Whew. So yeah, this is my trimmed Thoth. Okay, so that kind of rounds off the Thoth decks that are in this little situation. So let me finish my last deck that I got from MakePlayingCards. I spent so much time because I knew I wanted to get more than one deck, and I have like like a couple pages on my favorites list on MakePlayingCards, and I was like, God, which one do I do? Which one do I do? It was so hard to make a decision, but I do feel like I'm pretty happy. I'm satisfied with the ones that I decided to go with. The last one that I got from MakePlayingCards is the Flow Tarot. These are the backs. Like, look at that. So, so beautiful. This is a very popular deck on TarotTube. This one is definitely a TarotTube made me do it kind of a situation. But I'm so connected to the element of water. I always have been. Um, and like my moon is in Cancer, and so I was always kind of a fish in the water when I was a little kid, learning how to swim, being taken to the ocean. Like you could not, you could not get me out of the water. And yeah, I got this deck just to be able to honor that connection, with the water spirits. And this deck is so, I haven't necessarily been drawn to like nature decks. Um, but from the videos that I've seen from people that have had this in their collection, like this one it's so smart. All of the cards have keywords on them. So like Justice, we have here the inner reflection. The floating one, that's the Hangman, right? Justice. These aren't titled. The Wheel. Justice, yeah. So the floating one between worlds, the Hanged Man. Darkness, the transformation for death. What is that? It's like this cavern. This cavern in the sea. But it's so cool. Like there's so much that you can like jump into and dive in with his imagery. Like, so what did I call it? Darkness, the transformation. We have these crystals that are forming up from the bottom of the cave. We have this light coming in, illuminating this dark period, like providing direction, providing a new sense of life, a new sense of something beyond the veil. Balance the harsh extremes for temperance, like being able to conserve your energy, conserve your resources. Like cactus have to thrive in a very dry environment. They have to be able to retain the water that is available to them and be smart with how they use it. The devil, the drought, like, the tower, the looming storm. So, so good. The stars, the illuminated path. Like, just look. It's so, yeah. The moon, the gentle guide. I feel like I'm kind of coming into a period where I'm really going to need to be emotionally regulating. And I mean, we all need to be doing that anyway, you know, but I feel like this will be a really good deck for me to um, process my emotions, to just sit with what is instead of this idea of what I want it to be or what I want things to look like, and just honoring myself as a natural biological being that's just in all of this, and not necessarily needing to perform or to be a certain kind of way or produce something in a specific fashion in order to have value, but just understanding inherently that we all have value because we are a part of this earth, and that that is more than enough. The other cool thing about this deck too, like in the minor suit, I don't know what it's called. Is it called an alliteration in English, where you have like the suits are renamed? So we have waves. I think it's waves, pawns, um, waves, pawns, clouds, and is it streams? I don't know, but like the first letter of each of the suit, like you can attribute it to the original suit naming. So like the four of waves is the four of wands. We have sanctuary, which I love. I love that sanctuary is the keyword for the four of wands or the four of waves. Like that's one of my keywords that I typically go to when I see the four of wands. What else? What is the other? Yeah, so then waves. Oh, waves. Duh. Pawns. So there's the two of pawns or the two of pentacles, many paths. Snow. That's what it is. So swords is snow. So we have the ace of snow, crystallizing moment. The two of snow, the path. Three of snow, locked in ice. Four of snow, accept stillness. Yeah, it's such a beautiful deck. The knight of snow, adapt. And then cups are clouds. Two of clouds, shared space. Yeah, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So we'll see. I'll see how this deck wants to show up in my practice, and how it wants to be worked with. That's the thing when it comes to my practice, and what I feel like I'm developing is like I'm trying not to be rigid or showing up to a practice with these decks in like a particular kind of way. I'm trying really hard to, or I'm trying to just remain open to the lessons that these different decks have to offer, and how they want to speak with me, and how they help me, and how they want to help me grow on my path. So I guess that's my intention of what I'm going forward with, is working with these decks, is wanting to be open to the language in which these decks want to speak with me. And like particularly for the Flow Tarot, I believe it does come with a separate guidebook. Or at least it did in the past. I don't know if it's like a PDF downloadable or how you necessarily get that. I did not get a guidebook with the deck. I just got the deck itself, and so I think that'll be good for me to just be able to work with the imagery itself. Okay, I have two more decks. This one, whew, this one was also, or this deck is also very popular on TarotTube. It's the Bone Stone and Earth Flesh. This is the new mass market that was just released, The Reawakening by Avalon Cameron, artwork by Anatorian. And Anatorian's artwork is some of the most beautiful artwork that I have seen since getting into um, the tarot world and working with new decks. And the ones that I've really been resonating with have been out of print, like the Tarot of Echoes, I believe, is Anatorian, and Bonestone and Earthflesh. Um, both of which have been out of print, and this one was just released by Blue Angel. And oh my god, like this is the guidebook. This is the guidebook that comes with it. So thick. Like there's so much to get into. Every card has like a full or it has like a full color image in the guidebook itself. Um, and every card, I believe, comes with journal prompts, which is really cool. So the way that like the guidebook breaks it down is it has what the card means in a reading, if the energy of the card is reversed, and then it has a narrative section of like what's going on in the card on the artwork level. It has correspondences with the astrology and the numerology, and then it also has journal prompts, like, and that is so amazing. I don't think I have a couple of decks that have journal prompts, but I really love that. That was one of the things that stood out to me when I was flipping through. I didn't know that the book had journal prompts because I guess I didn't watch very many walkthroughs of it of people going through it, but I think that is really, really good when it comes to engaging with the tarot, to be able to sit and journal. That's such like a key aspect, I feel like, for developing a relationship with your intuition, what messages are coming through, is to actually be able to sit and put pen to paper to like process. And not even necessarily, I'm not even saying that I necessarily do that all the time. Um, Journal when I'm working with my cards. Like sometimes I just like to sit down and have a conversation with my deck and like a back and forth without putting the pressure, the expectation to like do a big journaling session. So I think that's also equally valid. But I do think journaling in and of itself is a great process to be able to really relish. What am I trying to say? To really just sit and be immersed with a deeper level and a deeper message of the cards, and allowing more of your subconscious to come through in what you're processing when you're working with these images. But these are the Becks. Really good. I think this is one of the cards. I think this the Two of Feathers. I think this the Two of Swords. It might be the Two of Swords that's like the image in the deck. But I did open this up. I did open this up and also flip through, so this isn't necessarily like first impressions, but oh my god. Look at that. Queen of Swords, the Morrigan. Oop, probably can't show that one. There is artistic nudity in this deck. Lady of the Lake, the Knight of Cups. So I guess I should be a little careful. Peacock Queen in the Elixir of Life, the Nine of Cups. So this is a Rider-Waite Smith based deck. The Wild Horses, the Eight of Wands. And so it does like honor that system, but I love the like independent interpretation of like where the deck kind of goes its own way that's been created by Avalon and Anna. The Wild Solar Dance, the Sun. Yeah, so oh my gosh, Marie Laveau, Queen of Wands. So it looks like the cards have different maybe mythological stories as well as archetypes from people that have actually existed, like Marie Laveau was, you know, a real person. This is the Devil card here. I'm not sure who that's supposed to be, but that's so evocative. Like we have the souls grieving in the background. We have her with her head of snakes, but I don't know if that's Medusa or not. And the devil. Maybe we should look this one up. I'm just going to look this one up in the guidebook really quick. If I knew where I just put the book. What? It was literally just right here. Oh, there it is. Okay. God. Cards everywhere, boxes everywhere, decks everywhere. It's a great problem to have. Let's see. The Devil. I love this. It also has like a little paragraph up top, just like a, I don't know what you call it, like a poem or something. I don't know if it's a poem. Let's read it. So 15, the devil. The temptation of instant gratification often leads to bondage, addiction, and superficial pursuits. Be mindful of these tendencies and remember that the devil is in the details. Yeah, so it's just like a little snapshot, I guess, is a better way to say that. But I love that phrase, the devil is in the details. It's so true. I have found that to be so true in my life. So, jumping here to the narrative, it says, the devil is seductive, wily, and lustful in their pursuit of ecstasy. They feed on the wild and excessive. Temptation and the need for euphoric release are their primary objective. The devil must forever feed to the point where their appetite is satiated. They need you, even if for just a moment. They lure the weak of will, the lost, and the dark of heart to a crossroads and there demand a decision. I love that because on the Tree of Life in Hermetic Kabbalah, the devil card mirrors the lover's card. And so there is a lot of commonality between the lovers and the devil. It's like both of them speak to this choice to be made. And the devil card is an opportunity to enact your will on the earth. And how are you going to enact your will? Through which choice? Are you going to make it through the choice of illusion, through the choice of like a false narrative of a limiting belief system? Is that the choice and how you're going to live your life? Or are you going to make your choice and support more of like an illumination of all sides? Like, are you going to make your choice and your decision based on how you want your will to be manifest on the earth? Like, sometimes it's okay to be a little is debaucherous. Like, it's okay to it's okay to like kind of give into that lust a little bit and to really relish in the beauty and the sensuality and the richness of the physical senses in our life. Yeah, the devil card is such a fascinating card for me. So that's cool. That's really cool. So like this one, it doesn't appear well, let's see. I'm trying to see if like it's addressing like a certain mythology or something like that, or a certain mythological character or what have you. So The devil will appear dressed in fine clothing, boasting a pocket full of enticing promises. Once they have you hooked, you are their plaything. Only then will they reveal their true image, smug and tricksy. They eloquently speak their ultimatums. Their snakes hiss the macabre, seductive, euphoric release of desires fulfilled into their ear. They peer deep into the heart of their prey so they may present fitting temptations, temptations they know cannot be refused. The devil seeks to bind you to your pleasures, passions, desires, to the deep, dark, ugly places of wild reckless abandon. Once ensnared, your wishes may be granted, but in return, the devil will take ownership of your soul. No amount of gold or riches, not even the sacred pearls of Persephone, can release you from your created damnation. Damn. And then the journal prompts are really cool. It looks like what binds you, describe one of your addictions. How do you feel about your body image? Are you asleep to life or awake and embracing it? Describe your ultimate sexual fantasy. So yeah, there's multiple journal prompts to be able to jump off based off of which one stands out to you. Or maybe these journal prompts can be like a starting point to ask additional questions. Like I love the are you asleep to life or awake and embracing it? Yeah, are you making your decisions asleep? Are you just going with like the rote way that things are because you're just in the like day to day, you're just in the routine, like you're just letting life happen to you? Or are you awake and are you seeing through that illusion, and are you making choices to um support the truth of the reality that you want to co-create with your will on this earth? So cool. So cool. Yeah. I want to show some of the minors, I think. Well, this deck is all shuffled up because I opened it and I couldn't help myself and I shuffled through it. But like this is cool. The Beast, 9 of Swords. Yeah, I love the cardstock. Just to talk a little bit about the production, like I pulled it out and I was kind of worried about how I was going to shuffle because I'd seen some people say that like, oh, it's super thick, it's a little unwieldy, and I don't know if it's just because, you know, I got bigger hands, but I don't have a problem like shuffling this deck at all. It was not a very good shuffle, but I feel like I have stiffer decks in my collection that I make do and work with because I love the decks. But like this, I mean, immediately out of the box, it was, you know, it had a really nice shuffle to it. And it feels like, I mean, if you know that Blue Angel cardstock, then you kind of know, right? But I feel like this is one of those cardstocks that is really going to break in over time and become an even better shuffle over time anyway. So I love it. Yeah. I don't know if this is one like if you're reading with and you're doing a lot of readings that it might be super comfortable. Like it might get a little tiring after a while. But I think I think it's just fine, and it feels like pretty sturdy cardstock that's gonna hold up. Yeah, it's good. It's very good. Okay, so I have one more deck. It's an Oracle deck. All right, I'm just checking the time. It's supposed to be going on. I have an afternoon engagement, as it were, so I'm trying to be mindful of the time. But I have one more deck, so let's go ahead and look at that. It's an Oracle deck. It's a mass market Oracle deck. It's the Kitchen Witch Oracle by Jenna De La Gotaglia. It's a magical deck. I kind of bought this deck on an impulse because I was on like a little solo trip and taking myself on this little weekend excursion, and I wanted to get something nice for myself, and so this was definitely kind of an impulse buy. So this is the Kitchen Witch Oracle: spells, incantations, and natural remedies. It's published by Rockpool. I picked this up at Barnes and Noble. So let's see. This also, I had no self-control, and I've also flipped this, just flipped through it and shuffled it. I've not like used it. And I don't think that this is necessarily a deck that I am going to use just like a typical oracle, like a clarifier oracle, or adding to like a reading. I think I got this deck specifically for spell work, and kind of helping me develop more of like like a like an actual like magical practice. I feel like I haven't sorry, I can't apparently can't show decks and talk at the same time. But when it comes to my magical practice, I feel like I am in a place right now where I'm working on like what do I want that magical practice to look like. I definitely want things to be simple, and I want to be able to show up to a regular magical practice. And maybe not even regular, but just like using the tools around me and understanding that I'm inherently a magical being. I feel like the spell work that I've done in my past when I was younger, uh, I kind of had evolved from that, and it was just more of like a realization of like, I am the spell. I am the altar. I am the, you know, I am just by being and putting my intention out there. But I've really been called recently to develop more of a magical practice, like working with candles, working with herbs, like actually having, is it sympathetic magic, like where one thing represents another thing, and actually like getting my hands dirty a little bit and working with an altar and working with tools. And um not that I feel like that's necessary, because they are just there as sacred props, kind of to like assist you in the power that is ultimately coming from you. But anyway, I got this for that. That's kind of what this boils down to in the punchline. So like here we have a spell sachet for lucid dreams. We have welcoming autumn, simmer pot, and it has little phrases on the bottom. So like this says, I am in harmony with the seasons, embracing their lessons and blessings. Manifestation bundle. With every breath, I synchronize with the timeless wisdom that courses through me, and the abundant energies I manifest within and around. So I want to look that one up in the guidebook. Comes with a little guidebook. It's cute. Yeah, and I really liked it for like the simplicity of it, for the simplicity of the kitchen witchery of it all. I am fascinated by like high magic and ceremonial magic, but like that's a way different vibe, like it feels like that can get really complex, and there can be multiple aspects to the ritual process and steps that you take. And I feel like my fantasy self wants to kind of be more of that, of like you're showing up in that way. But I think if I'm honest with myself, I'm like, let's blow some blessings into my tea before I drink it, kind of a thing. So the manifestation bundle, this one too has like a coloring of the image inside of the little book. It has ingredients for the spell and instructions. And yeah, it's just a really, I think, simple way to kind of bring more magic into someone's life. And that's how I am intending to work with it, of like, okay, how am I bringing more magic into my life in this way? Yeah, so just a few more cards here. Good luck spell. Citrus rosemary, cleanse, stress reliever oil. Yeah, so these are the decks that I got. These are the new ones that have come into my collection. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you've made it this far in the video, that's awesome. I appreciate you. And yeah, please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, commenting. Do you have any of these decks? How do you work with any of these decks if you have them? Do you have any tips on how they work in your practice? And yeah, if you want to see any of these decks on like a more intimate level and doing like a deep dive walkthrough of some of these decks, like the Bonestone and Earthflesh, I think I might just do that one anyway. I don't know. To really kind of also help me bond with the deck and kind of bring it more into the forefront of my mind and my practice and how I want to work with it. So yeah, let me know. But thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.